What's up, guys? With another video, and I'm warning you, this video is gonna be at least 1 hour long, and I'll tell you why. Because I'll be going over like how's my life for the last decade I was in, right? So like the 2010 decade just ended, like 3 days ago, right? And today is January 3rd, 2020. Still happy late New Year, and yes, we're still new into like 2020, and now I want to make a full recap of from 2010 to December 31st of 2019. The reason why I don't explain much about from the 2000s from 2010 for my life in that decade is because obviously because it's a long time ago, and plus I don't remember much like what happened. So the more recent things happen, the more I remember, right? So I remember clearly from what happened from 2010 to all the way to 2020, or you call it the last day of December 31st 2019. So each year I'll probably take like few minutes of each recap, and you see like how do I change over time, what stays same and what has changed, right? So starting off like in 2010, I was beginning of 2010 I was 11 years old, right? And you've been asked me like, where were you in 2010? Of course, still living in the same house, yeah, and I was in Mission Valley Elementary. I have not graduated elementary yet, but it was my last year in Mission Valley Elementary, and I pretty much hate that school. Yeah, obviously because people are just so annoying, man, and I have to do work all the time, and just too much work, and just not enough free time, and yeah, it's just too much work, and like I said, the students annoying, and also I hate that school so much, right? So back in like in 20 beginning of 2010, yeah, Mission Valley Elementary, and also like what I remember like back in 2010. Yeah, I remember that I always know my I know the main people call it like Mason stuff. Yeah, I've been been with Mason like since like 2007, right? Trying to remember who I also know, like Derek, Ray, I mean Astari. So sorry for the interruption. I have to look up on my phone, see what's going on. Okay, sorry about that. But anyway, man, and also I just graduate elementary. I remember I used to mention this Pacific person named Ahmed a lot. Yeah, because I really like really obsessed with this kind of guy from Mission Valley Elementary. But after 2010, I don't see any more Mission Valleys doing it, except some get transferred to Horner Junior High and all that stuff. Yeah, I remember that I did some May dance in 2010. So hit a like if you hit the like on this video, and comment below like what you did in Mission Valley. I will go over that, right? I feel like I should make a Mission Valley video a long time ago, but nobody ever asked me make an elementary video, right? But that seems like not too important because elementary is way past already. So I decided not to make that video. But I talk a little about elementary, and yeah, pretty much I don't play much on the playground stuff. Doing elementary, yes. And in Mission Valley, they just make you do like independent work and stuff and homework, right? Of course. Right, and then moving on to Horner Junior High, gotta talk a little quicker, because I got rest, and so I became a sixth grade to a seventh grade, and I'm very new to from having multiple period, right? Whereas elementary, you just stay like in one class and two classes. Yeah, I also went to another class in Mission Valley Elementary and stuff, and called my math class, right? Yeah, I also took a fifth grade math class. I always take like 1 year behind the math class, because I'm really strong in math. But I'll take the 1 year late instead of I take a fifth grade instead of sixth grade for some reason I don't remember, because of my the IEP goal or something like that. And yeah, then I started went to Horner Junior High, right? And I was not very used to Horner Junior High because Yeah, like I said, yeah, go all through sixth period, instead of, staying in just one class, right? Or two class, right? Yeah, I did struggle a bit, but then, I get better, as I progress, But then, let's get into like what happened in 2011, right? Yeah, there's not much to talk about 2010, Obviously, I get in trouble every year, right? In 2011, like, yeah, this is like I'm still in middle school, right? Oh yeah, in 2010 it's like, like where I hit my puberty and all stuff. Like I just grew a lot in 2010, but then starting in 2011, I start to slow down a bit, right? And 2012, like I talk about my growth spurt definitely, slow down a little bit, which is, like I mentioned my older video about my growth spurt history. Oh, I forgot to mention like where I went vacation, for 2010, right? So let's jump back to 2010 a little bit. So back in 2010, I went to Thailand, for 2 weeks, and how was it? Yeah, I did get, a little bit hurt, but I forgot where. Like, I just got hurt an elbow. I've been spending like 2 weeks in Thailand, how it is. Yeah, I'm saying that half of my family, got injured or got hurt. Yeah, and one of my cousin got, a monkey bite. That is gross, man. Yeah, and also have to check for for rabies and all stuff. I try to remember like what I also did in Thailand, right? Yeah, so and also in Thailand in 2010, yeah, I just try and break down my own older memories, Yeah, I want to see like lots of Buddhas and lots of just traveling around, riding on elephants. And if I don't remember like what I did in 2010, I can just look back to my old photos and all stuff, right? I mean, look way different back then. I was like a lot smaller. Yeah, we just like walk around. It was hot and stuff. Deal with jet lag. Oh my god. But as and also I went to the Norwegian Star cruise in 2010, right? At the end of 2010. Now switch it on to 2011. So 2011, like yeah, like not much to say either. But except what happened during the summer, right? So in 2011, still Horner Junior High, still like doing same old stuff. You can watch my Horner Junior High video, for the 2011 answers and stuff. But let me tell you what happened in the summer, 2011, right? Since I cannot remember what happened the rest, right? Of course, in like in middle school, yeah, obviously made friends, with Ryan Reed, Eric, Max, and Alvin, and some other like dudes that pretty much know me. Just a lot more people know me when I just moved into a different school, and right, because of my autism, right? Yeah, obviously, I went to Bahamas, in 2011, right? Yeah, what I did in Bahamas, I don't know, pretty much, do like water park stuff, like swims and stuff, and took a leap of faith and look at like sea animals all stuff. And you talk about this famous Bahamas place, right? I just cannot remember the rest, right? And also, yeah, I did have a scar from 2011. This scar's right here. Yeah, because I fell on the Rapid River, right? Yeah, sometime either I wasn't careful or I wasn't holding strong enough, and somehow the wave pushed me, kind of like flipped me, and I hit my elbow so hard, and I know it hurts, right? Yeah, and you wonder like what happened to you in the summer of 2011, right? Yes, my grandma passed away. Well, on my dad's side, but not on my mom's side. So of course, you have two grandma, right? One, my grandma passed away. Obviously, because she has a big like lymphoma, in her lungs, right? That's why, she passed away. And sadly, she passed away right after my birthday. One day right after my birthday, 2 a.m. And dying, in one of my, aunt's house, right? Of course, like she lived very close to me, but she's not my neighbor, right? Yeah, we went funeral, and I was kind of upset. Like I did not want, a relative, or family, that dies, very close to my birthday. like which really sucks, man. Like 2011 is looking like very horrible and stuff. I'm like, this is good, another terrible year. I always say that every year is a terrible year, right? Yeah, and you know, and let's go on to like 2012 because I can't remember what also I did. Yeah, and starting in 2012 is like where I start moving out of Horner Junior High. Like finally, right? Finally, start moving out of your Horner Junior High. I forgot to mention like from 2010 to like I don't know 2012, but yeah, I had to go to like speech therapy and stuff. Just to improve my reading skill, my comprehension skill, and my behavior skill, and whatever skill that I need to improve on my education, right? Yeah, I went to like speech therapy from 2010 to like all the way up to the end of 2012. The reason why I stopped going to speech therapy obviously costs a lot of money, and I don't have time to go there anymore because as I get older, like obviously I get more busier and busier, right? In 2000, like, do you not realize like how easy it was in Horner Junior High and SDC class? Like, I really don't have to do much work. This is why I have so much free time, just to goof off, right? So in 2012, it's like where, I improved so much in running, right? Where I started getting, the Garmin watch in mid-2012, to track my pace. Like, I started from, like, I don't know, a 7-minute pace to all the way down to, like, almost under a 6-minute pace. I could have gotten a 6-minute pace in 2012 if I even wanted to, right? Yeah, I started running a lot, like, I didn't even know, like, how did I run so much faster? Because I, practiced, pretty much, a lot, right? And all of a sudden, I stopped. I only practice, on weekends and stuff. And this is my life in 2012, right? Switching on from, Horn Junior High to Irvington, high school, right? Where I have to stay there for, for another 4 years, right? Yeah, one time I did got in trouble. I did ran off, out of the Horner Junior High district. Yeah, because I wanted to run fast and all stuff. And it's really dangerous, just to leap off campus in middle school, right? But then, yeah, I did got in trouble, with the principal, and oh yeah, and this is the first time I got detention in 2012, because I pushed Stevie in art, because he was making me mad and all stuff. Well, I started first because I was being annoying, and he told me shut up, and he just like I pushed him and he told the principal on me, and I got in trouble. Yeah, and also for the 8th grade celebration in Horn Junior High, you get to go on Great America, right? Yeah, and this is where I start making friends with Michael Song, right? Me and Michael used to tease Preston a lot in 2012, middle school, and we keep calling big man, big man, big man, and yeah, it was so funny back then. But when I talk about this, like I don't think it's not that funny anymore. Like that's like bullying and mocking other people, right? Yeah, we used to like mock. Me and Michael, I used to like go around and mock people a lot, like, and do all like other shenanigans stuff, right? And starting in 2012, going to high school, and then have to start writing research paper for English, which I really struggle. So I really have to get my my mom to help me, how to organize this and how to like look up an article. And yeah, research paper due every month, right? If I was correct, and that was like back in Irvington High School, right? SDC class, and this is the first time I experienced rallies, and I was a freshman. And surprisingly, Irvington makes you do all these benchmarks, how it is, and obviously like for 2012, like what do you do for summer? Of course, I go out for summer, always have summer break stuff. Like, what you did in summer in 2012? Oh yeah, that's the year, I used to play, a lot on my, iPad in 2012. What game that I usually play a lot, if there was no Pokemon or Harry Potter, I used to play like, Bejeweled Blitz a lot, right? Yeah, and I used to play, lots of Swampies, and yeah, talk about video games specifically, right? Yeah, but I don't want to mention, what video game playing in 2011, but I used to play lots of Swampy, and and I even went on the hot air balloon, right? Of course, I did not went on summer vacation in 2012, but I only took the hot air balloon in Napa, that was a while back. And And then, and try to remember like in 2012, and at the end of 2012, I drive down. My parent drive down to LA. Me and my aunt, and we were celebrating New Year Eve, New Year Day, of 2013, I say, right? Yeah, I went to like Disneyland, Beauty Castle, and we were counting down from waiting for 2012 to leave, and welcome to 2013, right? That is, the third year, of the 2010 decade, right? Rather I say, yeah, visit my uncle's house. Like, I have not visited my uncle's place for like so long. Like, I don't remember the last time I've been there. Like, oh yeah, been there like since 2017, And then, in 2013, here's where the downside is, man. Like, this is the first time, my parent got into an argument, right? They were like really arguing. Like, I cannot tell you what it is because it's privacy right now. But I will have to ask my parent if I do want to mention them on video. Like why they argue in the first place. Yeah, in 2013, like I was like so worried. Like, what's that? What the heck is going on with my parents, right? They seem to argue over something, right? I have no idea. I wish I can record back then, but I didn't start YouTube until like later, right? I'll tell you what year I started YouTube, even though I mentioned several times. So in 2013, still freshman again, but got in trouble like 3 or 4 times already, right? Just causing troubles and stuff, and not respecting people's personal space. Yeah, I mean, that's an issue. This is the first time, I got suspended. I never got suspended, like, I did got suspended, like either 2008, 2009, like, and have not get suspension, not until, like the end of the school year, which really sucks, right? We're just like a few days away, from school end, and if school ended like a few weeks earlier than, 1 week earlier than, I wouldn't have got suspended, right? Because I wouldn't act stupid and I don't have to worry. Of course, I went some, field trips and all stuff in 2013 to the exploratorial, like, I don't know what field trip I went to as a kid. I kind of forgot, but yeah, making friends and stuff and start having conflict, with other students, of course, right? Because they feel uncomfortable about my behavior and all stuff. And in 2013, I mostly do running, but yeah, I do run, lots of ups and downhills and stuff for, the 8 miles, right? Of uphills and downhill, right? But I'm not gonna tell you like how fast I run because uphills, is like very inconsistent pace. Because if you go downhill, you go slow, faster. You go uphill, you go faster, right? So you cannot really like measure my pace, right? Yeah, just because I live in a really like hill area, that's why I run a lot there, right? And plus, I don't even drive back then, right? Okay, in 2013, trying to remember like. Yeah, I did not want, summer vacation, but... And then, like in 2013, I try to remember, like... Yeah, I also repeat, lots of random word, that you can just look back to my everything. So I'm not going to go over much into 2013, right? There's just nothing much to remember. And, oh yeah, that's when I start creating, Facebook in 2013, right? But I just never used that much, right? And that's when my... sister graduate, right? Yes, and then, like, coming into my sophomore year, got suspended again, for hurting, another student, right? Yes, and then, and now we move on to 2014. Here's, like, where, like, things start to fall a little bit, right? In 2014, I started getting slower, yeah, obviously, because I get heavier and I don't run that much, and that's why my speed is like getting slower and slower, and I struggle in running, right? In 2014, like, did I went to the vacation and like, yeah, I did went to vacation. I went to Jamaica, right? Or Cancun, but I just get confused. Yeah, I went to Jamaica in 2014. That's what I remember, right? Okay, sorry that there was a big pause, but I just realized I forgot to mention something. Yeah, now it's just, keep coming back to my head because I look what's over there, right? So I forgot to mention that in 2010 to 2011, you know, like, yeah, I did took Kung Fu class. I took Kung Fu class, you know, starting from summer 2010 and stopped, you know, all of a sudden in 2011. You asked me, like, why do you stop taking Kung Fu class, you know, in 2011? Obviously, you know, because, you know, the Sifu doesn't teach that much and I don't even learn that much, you know, all, all his move, all he teaches, like, just teach me how to dance and, you know, but then his moves are really useless, right? This Sifu Meng's, you know, rule. Yeah, like, you know, there's this time card, you know, like how much time, you know, you learn in your during like each session. Each session is like 1 hour to be approximate, right? Does not matter, you know, what time you come. I usually come like 4 or 5, right? Yeah, obviously I take Kung Fu class and I forgot like do you meet anyone Kung Fu class? I know Sifu Meng and I don't know like other people and you know I just know their face but I cannot explain you know who they are but I only know like one name that I'm very familiar with. His name is Isaac, right? Obviously he's a little older than me and he you know little experience in you know kung fu. Oh yeah, and teacher you know Willie, you know. Yeah, I did took kung fu class you know in 2010 2011 but obviously stopped because you know it's just not worth my time, right? I mean, yeah, this it's not the move you know that can really you know teach you how to defend all stuff. He's just a really greedy you know like instructor just want all money and does not care you know how much you learn kung fu. I only know like a little bit move but I don't really know the real kung fu style, right? He doesn't teach me like real stuff. It's just mostly like doing the dance move and stuff, right? That's not kung fu, right? That's why I quit kung fu. Anyway, let's jump back to 2014, you know. Yeah, trying to remember like what I did 2014, you know, from my sophomore year to like my junior year, right? Yeah, obviously, you know, like let's not go into, you know, like 2014 all stuff, you know. Obviously I just repeat, you know, more of my same behavior, you know, and from last year, but somehow, you know, in 2014 is a clean year. Do you know why it's a clean year in school? Because I didn't get in trouble, right? I mean, I did cause trouble, you know, outside of school, you know, upsetting people, but I never got called by the principal office in 2014, right? Every single year in Irvington, I got in trouble, right? But just not 2014. 2014 is the only year. Like, I did not get detention. I did not get suspension. None of that happened. Not even an in-house suspension, right? This is a very perfect year, right? You know, clean, right? Clean record. Yeah, and obviously, you know, I struggle, you know, some class, you know, called like, you know, this geometry thing because I've learned a lot, right? Yeah, this is, I took geometry, you know, in my junior year and yeah, in 2014, I also, you know, went to Jamaica for vacation. Stuff, how long I stayed there, you know, 1 week. How's the food? I don't remember food, but oh, I did went to like Dominican Republic in 2013, right? I just tell you like, I don't know like how's you know Jamaica back then, right? Do I do some zip line stuff? Yeah, I did pretty much some you know zip lines and you know explore you know and do some swimming and all stuff. But man, I just need to look at my photo, you know, like what I did in Jamaica, but I just totally forgot. Anyway, it's not that important, right? And then, you know, and I did some more, you know, summer activity in 2014, you know, yeah, obviously, you know, yeah, my uncle's family, you know, the two girls, you know, Chloe and Phoebe, you know, came here for summer and we like took, you know, Great America and all stuff, right? And something special about 2014, you know, like I never upload a video in 2014, right? I never, but this is when I start opening my YouTube channel, right? And my first video that I record on YouTube is in 2014, not 2015. 2015 is like the year I upload that video. It's me and, you know, my first video, you know, first in like Westfield Valley Fair, right? Yeah, that is recorded in 2014. In 2014, you know, like, I'm really obsessed with, you know, this one specific character from, you know, from Disney or, you know, from DreamWorks called Shrek, right? Because I watch, you know, Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life, right? That video, you know, definitely should be age restricted. Should not be showing, you know, kids that are younger than, you know, 18 because obviously, you know, because something bad will happen to them. They just learn, you know, that bad habit and changed their behavior, their way to think, and that's what happened to me, and that's how I got in trouble, right? And I stopped talking about Shrek in, at the end of 2015, right? Yeah, so that's pretty much. And then let's go into 2015 is when I started my YouTube channel, right? It was not that popular, but then as when my YouTube is at least a year old, then this is when people start recognizing my channel, right? Other people in my school or outside of school, right? So yeah, I didn't know much about YouTube back then. Like I'm getting like lots of copyright strikes and all that stuff because I didn't know much rules. In 2015, I did watch YouTube every single year. I just watched on internet, and for summer vacation I went to Aruba, right? Yeah, so I did went to Aruba. Sorry, a little distracting there in 2015. Right, and this is when I start running 10 plus mile in 2015, right? So before I went on before like mid 2015 ended, I started with 60 mile, and then summer, like yeah, running a long distance was like really hard for me back then, because yeah, I was so heavy and I was not good running. Like for me to run long distance, I have to run like really slow, like 13, like 4 or only 5 miles per hour. Like I don't run like really fast. I can only run fast for like maybe 1 or 2 miles, and then at 5 miles I started getting really tired, right? Because I was at least 20 pounds heavier, back then, and I didn't have much running stamina, in terms of speed, right? I just struggle, with running pace and all stuff, but then, as I practice, I get better, right? And then starting, and how long is it, Aruba? Only like 1 week? Yeah, just 1 week, right? And then, 2015 starts get, a little crazy and all stuff, and yeah, my behavior has, gone out of control because I'm a senior, and I did a lots of stupid things, to be honest, right, in my senior year. Oh, and also in like 2015, it's like yeah, the year where I start taking culinary, like cooking, right? Hopefully I remember how to cook, because I took cooking class when 2015, right? Yeah, and I repeat this word is yummy a lot, right? Because yeah, food tastes yummy, right? I start repeating and talking a lot, and sometimes it annoys other students, especially this person named Estella. Stuff, she has a really like high temper, and she's impatient, right? That's Estella, right? Yeah, I used to annoy her a lot, and she could start get really mad, and she even just wants to like knock me out, right? Same thing with Mason, right? This is when I start annoying a lot of people, and they just get pissed off, right? That was like in back in high school, right? But then this kind of like carry it out on 2016. I usually annoy Mason, Estella, Adil, Tony, and RJ a lot, right? During 2014 to 20 and the 2015 period, and possibly some in the 2016 period, right? Yeah, in 2015, like I keep mentioning like Shrek all the time, and it just keeps annoying people, right? Yeah, like I just have to stop talking about Shrek, and see you, I still talk about Shrek, and yeah, and this one guy told me to shut up, and in the 2015, remember around like October, 1st of 2015, and then I start scratching kid, and I haven't had trouble for a while, and like couple, like I have not gonna spend like 2 years, and then yeah, because my last suspension was in 2013, right? But then it jumped to 2015, right? Almost exactly, in the same month, right? Yeah, I say around like October, right? It's the first time I got suspended, right? And I mentioned it on video, right? Really ran like, oh, I shouldn't hurt this kid, right? I shouldn't talk about Shrek, right? And then like I stopped being very obsessed with Shrek 2015. Start talking about a little bit in 2016, but get less as the year passed by, right? Yeah, and then I start running 30 or 40 miles, get sprained muscle. And then during my winter break, I start going for all day run, 50 miles, and that was absolutely nuts. And for just a person that weighs 180 pounds, I mean, yeah, 180 pounds may not be heavy to you guys, depending if you're tall or muscle, but I just, have some fat in my body and, just carry it around for 50 miles and probably burn out lots of calories, right? At the end of 2015, like, yeah, and also, what do you want me to mention about 2015? Yeah, I used to love, this Golden State Warrior team. I used to love this team so much, right? Like, I pray, to beat some record and stuff, where Clay, hits 37 point in a quarter. Clay Thompson is crazy, right? 37 in the third quarter. And then, Warrior, going on, massive streak of win and win, and except they start losing. Of course, they only lost, 9 games in the season for the 2015-2016 season, which is very impressive, like, only a single-digit loss in the season from 82 games season, right? That's the Golden State Warrior. No team will ever beat this record, and it'll probably be for a year before someone has 8 losses or lower, right? I talk a lot about basketball. I never was interested in football or other sport, but just basketball itself, right? Yeah, and then after celebrating 2015, then walk into the 2016, right? And here it start in 2016 it starts to get a little bit crazier, and then I guess suspended again, for touching someone inappropriately, obviously. Got suspended twice in my senior year, and then the AP goal has to be updated because I just keep getting in trouble, and then that's the year I graduate Irvington, right? Finally, and I hate that school, obviously because kids were uncomfortable and I feel uncomfortable with them, and yeah, no more staying in Irvington. I don't like students there, I pretty much hate some of them, right? But I don't want to mention their name, and went out on grad night, right? I had to go on a grad night with someone, technically, like parent or guardian, or chaperone, like have to guard. But for me, I'm an SDC student, I have some problems, behavior problems, so that's why they have to ask, like one of the adults to go with me. 26, I say age 26 or older, right? Yeah, if I'm right, or 21. I forgot what age. Certain age, you have to meet and you can go with me, right? So I went to my cousin, named Todd, right? We went to grad night, together. Yeah, obviously he has to come along, make sure I don't do bad behavior stuff. The grad night was so scared, I thought that I'm gonna misbehave during the trip, and that could be a possibility, right? So anyway, I did, went on grad night, for Irvington, and graduate 2016, and then this is the first time I became in 2016 it's the first year I become an adult, right? I went from age 17 to 18, right? Yeah, so I went from age 17 to 18, and the rules are a lot more different, right? So of course the law is gonna look after you, right? And if you cause a crime when you're 18, obviously you go to jail instead of juvenile hall, right? Yeah, 2016 is my biggest year because so much graduation, and I become an adult. I go to I'm running out of voice, my voice running out, and went to college, and also I also went to Cancun, in Mexico in 2016, right? Some of us, had some food poisoning stuff, but I forgot why they, in Cancun we went to beach and we went swimming, snorkel, or I don't even know why they did 2016, right? But yeah, man, and this is the first, and 2016 is the first year, I've been playing, Pokemon Go, right? The other previous year, from 2013, to 2014, the most game I play is BDTD5, right? Or, Blue Monkey City, right? And then, 2015 pretty much do the same thing, play BDTD5, and then 2016, is when I start playing Pokemon Go in August 3rd of 2016, right? that's when I started playing Pokemon Go, right? And that's when, I started, going to a lonely college, just take some courses and all that stuff. And this is the first time my bike got stolen, right? This is the first time, I lost a bike, right? That's someone, just breaks the lock, and then, like, stole the bike and, just takes off with it, right? And also in 2016, like, there's a reason why that I almost, obviously, in high school I did like quests and all that stuff. I passed quests as movie. Sorry, I have to jump back a little bit. High school, I just remember something, and also, I have to pay, I owe the school money because, I lost a textbook and all that stuff. Because I'm just disorganized and I just like to like put things everywhere, right? And this is why I just lose money and you don't return back to school. I won't graduate, and I almost missed my graduation because of my stupidity, right? And I learned my lesson, right? Not to lose things and all stuff, right? It's my fault. I even lost an expensive calculator, like in November 2015, and had to lie and hide and lie about it, so which is not good, right? Then 2016 I lost a bike, it cost a few $100, Obviously I started biking 100 miles in 2016, right? Yeah, but this time it's not my fault because I didn't know where to hide the bike. I should have hide the bike on my bike rack with a lock, so that way people can see if there's thieves or not. But I'm afraid that I don't want people to break my lock, so I just decided put in a hidden area and backfire and nobody sees it. No people like looking and watching in it, and then the thief like sneakily get some pure weapon just to break the lock, and they just stole the bike, right? Gone, and never seen ever again, right? And then 2016 is the worst year ever. It's a really terrible year. It's because Donald Trump is the president, and I honestly don't like Trump, right? A lot of people don't like Trump, and yeah, he's becoming a president. He doesn't leave office until 2021, so just have to wait one more year until Trump's leave the office, right? At least one more year. I hope he does not win the election, to be honest, right? And then 2017, like my first year in college, still my first year in college, but yeah, struggle a bit, in the beginning, Yeah, but sorry, I just coughed there, and I try to remember what I did in 2017. Yeah, I started doing lots of bike stuff and Pokemon Go stuff, and yeah, it was getting to a really bad habit. I just mostly like devote my time in Pokemon Go, which is bad because I need some time to study all stuff, and I was struggling a little bit in school, because of Pokemon Go, which is not good. Yeah, I'm also very obsessed with with catching Pidgey all the time, because Pidgey high spawn raised in 2017, right? And then for 2017, then I went on any vacation. I just went down to LA and in 2017 visit my uncle again, right? Just went some Universal Studio and went to like UC Davis and all stuff, where my cousin's gonna study. And also 2017, yeah, I do like lots of bike stuff, and yeah, also film YouTube videos and all stuff. I just forgot, like, yeah, I film the Lonely Campus and all stuff. Finished my first year in a Lonely College, and then second year starts from 2017 2018, right? And then in August, like August 11, 2017, this is when, like, yeah, this is when I start hitting 100 subscribers on YouTube, for finally, right? And yeah, I just play, tons of Pokemon Go, and, and let's go over what happened, in fall of 2017, where there's a big incident. Yeah, I did sign up fitness, and I obviously like I signed up the one of the most difficult professor in the Lonely College, named called Professor Lee, right? I can just mention his name, right? So that way you can avoid him in the future if you're planning to go to a Lonely College. Please avoid this dude, Professor Lee, right? Yeah, you have to avoid him, because he's the most difficult professor. He does not want to help you. And if he knows that you're not good in English, if you struggle if you struggle in English and writing, like, you should not take him, man. Do not take him, because yes, he will try to fail you, and he will try, wants you to drop out, right? A lot of people drop out because this is the most difficult professor in Ohlone College, instructor, right? He just doesn't care, man. He just cancel class a lot, and he just makes everything difficult. Like, he just wants you, like, to fail his class, right? Does not care, and all he wants to keep is a good student. Even little mistake, tiny mistake like that, like, he just give you big deducts and stuff. Like, this is the most ridiculous professor. Like, I was like so stupid I didn't sign, ratemyprofessor.com, and this is where, it killed. I just lost a lot of time and lost a lot of money, and it was just my semester in fall 2017 was just like so much a mess, right? Right, and then it caused me weight gain, and it caused me all sorts of problems, and then we walk into 2018, and here is where I start improve so much in running, just like I did in 2019. So here we walk into 2018, and trying to see if I took summer vacation in 2018. I did not take any summer vacation in 2018. So in 2018 is a year where I start losing a lots of weights and muscle, right? So I went from from 180 at like close to 180 in 2018 to down to like 150, right? Yeah, I was a little too thin for 150 pound, right? Because of my size and more bones and muscles, right? I mean, that's why that's why I thought I was chubby, like I was never chubby, right? To be honest, it's just that I just have so much body mass, like it just like adds up so much pound, right? Yeah, I obviously have dieting problems in 2018 and all stuff, and I took swimming class, obviously because I was so afraid that I gain weight, and I hate having high weight, so I just want to keep cutting down all my weights. And yeah, having diet issue in 2018 just really kills my body and stuff, and it's not healthy, right? I just did tons of running, just to burn off. I did burn all my fat and did burn some of my muscle, which is not good. You don't want to burn your muscle, you just want to lose fat, right? Yeah, having little fat's okay, but too much is not good, and burning muscles is bad because you still want to be strong, right? Obviously, like once you run out of fat, then your body has to burn some extra calories somewhere, and it starts depleting your bones and muscle, right? This is like scary, right? But then I just gained a few pounds back, and got myself healthy again, right? Yeah, just a little incident in 2018, right? Yeah, and also, oh yeah, in 2017 is like when I start practice driving, and 2018, I passed the driving test, right? Hip hip hooray! But little do I know, like right after I passed my driving test, and I ran a stupid red light, right? And I need to go back, a little bit, 2017. Sorry, like I'm just so disorganized, like. Yeah, it's just a decade, just listen to the whole video, right? It's just a decade that I'm talking about. It's 10 years, and you expect me to talk a lot, 5 minutes, per year, whatever that is. 2017 is the scariest year, right? You know why? Because, I got into a bike accident. Not by accident, but the car hit my bike, right? I was so stupid, I did not record the license. Of course, like, I can't record people's license because they can just hit my bike, and they just, can just literally like drive off very fast, because car goes like way faster than people run, or people bike. I can't bike because my wheels doesn't even work. Good thing you didn't hit my bones or leg, or else I could have a broken bone. I could end up in the hospital, crying all day long, right? Yeah, you do not want to be hit by a car. It's made of metal, and it can crush bone easily. It can just go like as low as 5 miles per hour, and boom, like you're done, man. You are so done if the car hits you, right? Look how much damage it did to the bike, right? Like, you won't even do that much damage to your body, even if you kick or punch it or hit it or whatever that you do, right? Like, you can never be as strong as a car. Cars are way stronger than people, right? Yeah, and I also have to highlight about that because I just didn't want my friend to be way worried. But yeah, every single year I always lie and break promises, like, and being a hypocrite, which is just not good, right? Because now people start losing trust. Like, people might not believe me anymore because I've been lying so much in the past, right? That's how it is, right? Let's get on to 2018, right? So 2018, you know, not much to say, but did a lots of, you know, running stuff. And yeah, obviously, you know, there was, you know, a big smoke in the area, a big fire, you know, that I had to breathe, you know, this toxic smoke for like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 weeks, right? And then, you know, Aloni is still in construction. Obviously it won't be done until like 2020. That it said that first, like, Aloni construction will be done in like 2017, but no, like, it won't, the new building won't be open until like 2020. It said like late 2019, but then they pushed it to 2020, right? And then 2018 is the first year, you know, I went on, you know, Mission Peak, right? I started doing like new stuff, you know, new adventurous stuff, right? And then, you know, I try to remember like what I did 2018. 2018, you know, I did, you know, more Pokemon Go just like I did in 2017, right? Hunting legendary Pokemon and all stuff, and trying to remember like what I did 2018. Like, I just have to look back at my video, yo. You can just watch my video, see how's my life in 2018, right? And stuff, and this is like my 4th year of college, no, 3rd year of college, right? And then moving on to 2019, you know, just last year, you know, like, pretty much I do pretty much the same thing as I did in 2018, right? And also for 2019, I did went to Vietnam, right? A lots of special things happened in 2019, right? Obviously, you know, in 2018, you know, it's my aunt, you know, anniversary, you know. In 2014, it's Koji, you know, 50th anniversary birthday, and we just celebrate, you know, anniversary birthdays and all stuff. And yeah, 2019 is my grandma's, you know, 80th anniversary, right? And then, you know, like, a lots of graduation. My sister graduated, Phoebe graduated, Bo graduated from middle school, Phoebe graduated from, you know, not Phoebe, like, oh man, I'm so messed up. Chloe CL graduating, going to college, right? Yes, man, just like, and then 2018 is the first time I did the escape room and stuff. Like, I forgot other activity that I didn't pass, but you can just look, relook, and just see like what activity I didn't mention. I'm just going, you know, a full recap, right? A quick recap, technically, right? Yeah, 2019 is the year, you know, like, I almost graduated college, right? I could have graduated in 2019, but then, you know, it's because, you know, Professor D, you know, delayed my, you know, graduation, so that's why I'm possibly graduating in 2020. Oh, I am gonna graduate in 2020, not possibly. It's already 2020. What am I talking about, right? In 2019, you know, it's like, let me think what I did in 2019, right? Can't be that long ago, right? It's like starting, like, when I started seeing like more new people and all stuff. I do like financial accounting, and I do like more accounting stuff in 2018, and do some, you know, 2019, you know, that's my major and stuff. And yeah, just, you know, like, drive around, you know, playing, you know, a new game, you know, because I'm getting sick and tired playing Pokemon Go. Like, it's the same thing over and over again. I like play 3 years of, you know, Pokemon Go, and then stop, and then, you know, like, just watching, you know, some movies and stuff, just breaks, and, you know, hunting Pokemon, instead of hunting Pokemon. Now, you know, like, now I'm playing, you know, a lot more, you know, Harry Potter in the second half of, you know, 2019 and stuff, right? Just go found, you know, just found it for fun, and doing some Fortress Battle, and doing lots of fun stuff in 2019, right? And yeah, what I did Vietnam stuff. And how's Vietnam? How's your trip? Can you tell me? Quick recap. Yes, I don't like going to Vietnam anymore. It sucks because of the weather sucks, so much humidity and stinky environment. I even got sick one time. Everybody gets sick, and we just cannot handle it. Yeah, 2 weeks was good enough. If we stay longer, like, we cannot survive. And yeah, boy, like, I cannot, like, handle, Vietnam's culture, yeah, because it's way different from US. Like, people motorcycle, like, never yield, and there's just no law, of, traffic, in Vietnam. I just motorcycles everywhere, and yeah, we went to like Buddha temples, visit everywhere, right? In Vietnam, and we did just like a lot of adventures. We did like hikings, and we did like swimming, and we did like a lots of activity in 2019. We went on like cruise and all stuff, and that's like, I'm trying to remember what I did, and oh man, that's pretty much it, pretty much, that's my, oh yeah, and I got a brand new iPhone in 2015, got a brand new iPad in 2016, my uncle bought me, and try to remember, like, yeah, I buy the bike and assemble in 2017, and going, just try to go back little by little and just see like what I forgot to mention, and I do like all sorts of the like random stuff in 2019. That's not pretty much interesting, right? Just except I just try to beat this Pacific, like go 5 minute barrier. I want to break it so badly, the 5 minute barrier. Ever since 2013, I've been wanting to break the 5 minute barrier, 5 minute barrier, 5 minute barrier in a mile, right? But for 2012, I want to break 6 minute barrier, which I almost done in 2012, but now I'm almost breaking, a 5 minute barrier, minute mile. So I expect to break either this year, yeah, most likely this year, right? If nothing goes wrong, right? And then I plan to like get summer part-time job in 2019, but that did not. But that did not work. Obviously, it'll be this year. I'm most likely taking part-time jobs, and I only have one more class to go, and I'm just gonna graduate in this online class, so I don't have to come to a lonely college anymore. Technically, you could say that I already graduated, but I haven't. Just no more come to class thing, right? Yeah, and obviously in 2019, like I only have like philosophy, and that's what class I take so far, and forgot what other class I take, right? So that's pretty much, that all I got to say for this, video, right? And also in 2019, I forgot to mention like the craziest thing I ever did is that now, the longest distance I ever ran is 60 miles, not 50. It was 50 for the longest time, but then, like, unfortunately, like 4 years later, after December 2015 is where I break my longest distance running, and now it is like 60 miles now, not 50 anymore. And how fast I ran? Not very fast. I didn't want to try. I don't want to break my bones or muscle, so I decided to go like a little bit, faster than 4 miles per hour. I ran like over a 14 minutes mile per pace, which is not that fast. It's not running. It's technically like a little jog, but you can call it a fast walk. I just did like fast walk and run, fast walk and run. I cannot run, 50 miles. I only did one run and walk, to 60 miles. Yeah, I'll be dead, right? You can call that a slow run. Well, you can call whatever you want, right? Depend up to you, and as the year progresses, I become more independent and all stuff, and start becoming like more adults. And now, the old Vince is probably left in 2019, but I don't know about that. But I have to leave up here, and if you have any question, comment below, or you miss anything, comment below, and I will get to you and answer as soon as possible the minute I see it. So thanks for watching my 2010 decades life, right? Life in 2010. Peace out.